everybody. My name is Cameron Sutter with Plottr, and I'm excited to show you some of the new superpowers that we've given you in Plottr today and a new thing called Storysnap. So why don't I just jump right in? All right, so I've got Plottr open here, and there's a few new really cool features that I'm excited about to show you. The first one is pinning. And you're able to pin just about anything, whether that's characters, notes, places, scene cards, and then you can just drag them around and move them anywhere. The great thing about this is you're able to see multiple things at the same time. So if you're working on this scene 2, let's say, I can open that up. My pins are still right there. So I can be looking at the wolf and pig 3 as I'm writing about the pigs building themselves homes. And if I have more questions about pig 3, I can just jump to that character. Just click that. Oh, that's a little surprise for a minute from now, but it'll jump to pig 3, and then I can look at him in more detail, and then I can just go back with the undo button. And if I want to edit something right from there, maybe I want to change the wolf, I could just quick edit and change some information about him right from there without leaving the scene card. Now, if I also wanted to pin the scene card, I could do that easily. And then I can just move it around. I can close that one that's there right there. And I can just make this smaller so I can move it around wherever I want. And then maybe I want to work on the next scene. So there's scene 3, but I want to think of the scene that was before that and maybe even the scene that's after that. So let me open that up, pin that. I'm going to close that, shrink this one down. And so now I've got all those open. I'm going to look at scene 3. So I've got the scene beforehand. I've got some of the characters that might be in there and the scene afterwards. You can organize these wherever you want, move those around. And that'll help you to very easily, instead of having to click. And one thing that we found from a lot of people is that they felt like they had to click around a lot of and go back and forth between characters and scenes and notes and things like that. But this will make it so much easier. You don't have to. You can stay focused and thinking clearly about just the thing that you're working on, just the scene or just this character, and have supporting information at the ready that you can just scroll through and look at. And then another cool thing is if you hover over any one of these things where it shows the character or a note or a place, you can just hover over them and it'll tell you all about them. Of course, I don't have much about this wolf, but you could pin it right from there if he wasn't pinned, or I could jump right to the character from there. So I could go over to the wolf. So that's pinning, and we're really excited about that. And it's going to make Plottr so much easier to use. I've been literally planning this feature for years and just never been able to do it. So we're really excited about it. The next thing I want to show you is something that already been on the screen a couple times accidentally, but it is our new family tree feature. So if you click into the family tree, so you can flip between the character list or the family tree, and this is going to help you to visualize your character relationships like never before. So you can move them around wherever you want in the family tree. You can customize the background to either be a color or a picture. And the picture is going to be really awesome. I'll tell you why in just a minute. And you see that your pins still stay on top of that. And you can just add new characters easily to this by either adding the ones that already exist in your project or creating a new character right from this project. So I could create Josie the werewolf. If I could spell. There we go. So you can just add them right from there, and then I could add them. Of course, this one doesn't really go with the family, but maybe there's some sort of weird relationship going on there, and so I can just connect them. And Josie is now part of the family, and I could add a picture to her if I wanted to, edit the short description, go right in to edit the character if I wanted to, and then just flip back. You can also edit the relationship types. So you can have all sorts of different relationships. So here's the relationship editor. I can have all different types of relationships and make them look how I want, the line color, whether it's solid or not, customize that to your heart's content and make it look really awesome. And not only are you going to be able to visualize your character relationships, but one of the great things about having uh, a family tree is that you're able to use that in your marketing. And one of the ways to do that is have it on in the back of your book, maybe. And that's why the picture, having a background picture, is going to be so cool, because you can make it look to fit perfectly like your book and just match your book really well. So you can have this background image with your family tree in the back of your book. You could also use it on your marketing website, or maybe as a freebie that people can download if they join your mailing list. So there's a bunch of different ways you can use it in your marketing that are just really great. And so this will make it so that you can make this look really nice and have this really impressive thing to show your readers, and help them also to remember the complex relationships, because some of these stories can get really, really complex with the families and things like that. And you can have as many families as you want. So we've just got the pig fam here, but we can have more families. And if I were just click into this one, it's a brand new canvas ready for you to zoom in and out of and move around um, and work on to make. Maybe we're going to make the wolf family or something. So we can do that. And I forgot to show you, you can move that around, zoom in and out, and just make it look however cool you want to make it. So that's the new family tree feature that we're really excited about in Plottr. Okay, so now I want to tell you about the new thing that we created called Storysnap. And this gives you some really cool superpowers, but this is outside of Plottr. It is a separate website that we've created. Now, Storysnap does use AI. Plottr does not. There's no AI in Plottr whatsoever, but Storysnap does. It's one of the reasons we separated them. And I know for some people that scares you, and I totally understand that. So let me just address for a second here what we've done to make sure that we are being as careful as possible with your work as we can. So first of all, we're not letting the big tech companies train their AI models with your manuscripts, with your work. It's a bit technical how we do that, but we're very careful about that, because I'm a writer as well, and I don't want my stuff stolen either. So our servers are talking to the servers of either ChatGPT or Gemini or those other AI models. And when you do it that way, it's in their terms and conditions that they're not allowed to train on anything you send them. And then on top of that, we're never sending your manuscript file to their servers. So we're never uploading it to them. It's never in their hands. So they're never able to keep it on their servers or do anything they want with it. It's never there in the first place. And on top of that, we also don't have our own AI model. We're just not that big of a company to be able to have our own AI model. We're just using the ones that are out there already. And so nothing is being trained, not ours, not from the big tech companies, with your work. And we're very careful about making sure that it's never in their hands as much as we can. So that's just a caveat I want to say up front, because I know some people are worried about that, and we're trying our best to make sure that they are that your work is as safe as possible. I know that's it's a worrying thing, right? And so we're trying to be very careful. We're writers ourselves. Anyway, so that was a bit long, but so what Storysnap does is two things. The first thing it can do for you is build a book Bible for you, and it does it automatically in just a couple minutes. All you do is upload your manuscript, your finished manuscript, and in 5 minutes or less, it'll give you a Plottr file or a Word document. Now I'm going to show you what the Plottr file has in it, but it's the same in both. So we're not trying to lock you into Plottr. If you're not using Plottr already, you can get this in just a Word document, and it's the same information. We think it's way better in Plottr because it's more visual, it's more organized, it's easier to search and find those characters and so forth. But you'll get the same information. So let me show you an example of the book Bibles from Storysnap. So I'm coming back over here to Plottr, and I opened this other project that is The Great Gatsby. And this is one of the classics. You know, it's just an open book that people can download and read. So we sent it through Storysnap, and this is what came out. I have not touched or edited this document at all. This is what Storysnap gave us. So you'll see that you'll get the outline, the timeline built for you. And you've got your chapters there. There's only 9 chapters in this book, if you can believe it. And then the main plot, and then a plot line for each one of the major characters. And then there's a summary of each one of the chapters, what happens in the chapter, and a summary of each one of the characters, what happens to them and their role in the chapter. And it's not a one-sentence summary. It's a very detailed summary. So it gets all the details. And that's one of the great things about Storysnap. It's an automated way to get a high level of detail out of AI. You could do this with ChatGPT, just upload your manuscript and ask it questions, but the summary is going to hallucinate, or when you ask it to summarize it, it's going to hallucinate things, it's going to get things wrong, but we've dialed in the prompts, and we're pretty good at keeping it on track and only pulling stuff right from your book. I don't have a percentage, but I would say somewhere around 90% or more, probably even higher, that it is accurate information. And every once in a while we'll see that it hallucinates, but it's pretty good about not doing that. We've dialed it in pretty good. So not only does it build your timeline for you, it also lists out all your characters and puts in as much detail as it can about them. So here's, for example, the main character, Jay Gatsby, his physical characteristics, and these are direct from the book. So it's described as a young man in his early 30s, tan skin that appears well-groomed and polished. Very detailed and from the book. And then psychological backstory, and there's all sorts of other things that it talks about in there. And when I say all the characters, it goes through all the characters. So every single character that it can find, even the waitress, the postman, I think there's the elevator boy, there's a policeman somewhere. So just even the unnamed characters. And that way in book 2, 3, 4, when you come back to write those books and you're thinking, oh, what was that one character? What was his eye color? Or, what was the waitress? What was her backstory? Because now I want to bring her into the story more, and she's going to be either a major player in book 2, or, I'm just going to have this maybe running story of you learning more about the waitress throughout the series. So this makes it very easy for you to do that, where you don't have to either reread your book or pay somebody to read it and write all the details. You're not going to be able to remember everything. And I've had to go back and reread my own books before we made this so that I could write the second one in the series. But this makes it so you don't have to do that. It'll also list out all the places in your story and details about them, both physical and emotional details. And then the notes is going to be really dependent on your story. So this will be the time period, if it's a historical, stuff about the world that is different than our world. It'll talk about the themes in your story. And if you have a magic system, it'll pull that out. If you have cultures and religions, or maybe languages, technologies, any of those kinds of things, it'll pull out and put in the notes, and in great detail explain how those things work in your story, so that you don't have to remember all the details, and they're just in here, and they're searchable, easy to find, and very visual. So that is the first thing that Storysnap does for you, which is this book Bible that it'll create for you, very detailed. The second thing, which we're really excited about and that people just seem to love, is a virtual beta reader team. So it'll have 5 AI personalities read through your book and give you detailed feedback. It'll be better feedback than waiting 4 months for your best friend to say, it was good, or for them to give you a list of all the grammar mistakes you made, and here, you got to change, you misspelled and, or something like that. It will, so it's the right level of detail of feedback that you're going for when you ask for a beta reader. And you can see here that you'll get a summary of a thumbs up or thumbs down, and then a would you buy it? And so this is the same book, The Great Gatsby, and it's really interesting because this is one of the classics, right? But only 1 thumbs up. And we sent in some of the other classics like Dracula and things, and most of the time they get all thumbs up, and the beta readers seem to like them, but not for The Great Gatsby. Anyways, so you can get a summary of each report here, or you can click into the full report and see there's just a wealth of information that the beta reader gives you about your story. Did it keep your interest? Which characters landed well or were relatable? Did the ending land? How was the plot? How was the writing, the world building? dialogue, all those kinds of things. So give you detailed feedback about those. Suggestions, and then the one that everybody loves is it'll roast your book. And my daughter, who published her first book this year, she said when she sent her book through it, it hurt a little bit when it roasted her book, but it was true, and it helped her figure out some of the flaws in her book. And it's just a humorous way to see the things that are that could use some work, or the plot holes, or whatever in your book. And so there's 5 different personalities that'll read through your book, and they sound different. They like different things about your book. You can customize which personalities, or if you want a personality that is specific to your genre or your age group, you can, when you're submitting the book, you can easily just say, hey, I want a beta reader that's like this, and we will build a beta reader for you. Just like that. So in 5 minutes, you'll get this great feedback. And then you can also go and chat with the beta reader. Oh, let me find one that I've already chatted with. So you can chat with the beta reader afterwards. So if they didn't answer something that you were looking for, you can easily just ask them that. So those are the 2 things that Storysnap will do for you: a virtual beta readers team and detailed book Bibles, all at the snap of a finger in just a few minutes using AI. So thanks so much for joining me. I hope that that both Plottr and Storysnap are going to just be amazing tools for you that'll help make your writing process really smooth and help you write that book and change the world with your stories. We really think you can change the world, and that's why we serve writers every day. So go to our website, plottr.com or storysnap.ai, to learn more about them. And then we also have the virtual booth here at BookFest. So thank you so much, and take care, everybody.